I don't know if y'all notice about me, but I really don't like talking, and I talk a lot, and that is funny because I really talk a lot, but I don't really like talking. I'm actually tired of talking because it's just everybody with their opinions and all these think pieces and everything, which is cool. Where everybody's entitled to it, we all have the right to express it. But I'm gonna just put it like this: like I am not sharing my opinion. I am just stating my observation. And there's a difference. They're a little similar, but there's a difference in opinions and observations. And I've noticed that about myself is just trying to stay consistent in my walk with Christ. It's really just I'm getting to a point where I'm just tired of talking, period. I don't even want to say anything at all. So
What's up, blessed ones? You are now blaring the podcast. Brought to you by AB1 Studios. Thank you for your time. Listening. You wanna know something else, blessed ones?
So I do again want to say thank you to all my listeners, all my subscribers, everybody who support me, even people who come up here for a second because again, y'all don't have to do it. But I also want to give a shout out to the Balter podcast, the whole CEO Mikey, and because I listen to a lot of podcasts. And I've always listened to a lot of podcasts. Like I said, I've been podcasting for over 10 years. And I haven't been as consistent as a lot of the regular podcasters that's out there, like even the big podcasts or even the not so big podcasts. But I got to give a shout out to him because one thing I always appreciate about the podcast that he does, whether I agree with some of the points he makes or not, is that he'll say it. Like he'll have his views, he'll have his takes and stuff. And like, he takes it. He really doesn't. He don't care about. He's like me. He don't care about what other people are, feeling. It's about anything. It's the same thing. Like for me, like I was listening to the most recent episode earlier, and he had talked about, Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. And we all know, what it is with Hulk and stuff, or we assume we know something about Hulk. And like I said, I'm not going to be over here expressing my opinion, just an observation. And my observation is about the fact that this world is unforgivable. It's a shame because, we all do dirt. We all done things wrong. We all had said something offensive or maybe hurt somebody's feelings. Like I say all the time, we can be a villain in somebody's story. And whether you might have good intentions, well intentions, people are going to say whatever they feel. And people are going to, they're going to double down on it. They're going to express it. They don't care. And then that's fine. But it's just like this world is unforgivable. Like people, we pick and choose what we want to be upset about. We pick and choose what we want to hate on. And that's just what it is. That's not an opinion. That's an observation. So one thing that I want to say is, I love everybody, but I don't like everybody. You know, there's things that like I can tolerate a lot, but I can never fake the funk. I can hold my tongue on a lot of things, but then there's other things where I have to like, look, I have to say this. And one thing, especially as I get older, one thing that I notice about myself is I have a problem of letting things go, because even after I discuss it or talk about it, I still hold on to things, and that's probably like maybe my one of my biggest challenges, because I pray and ask God to deliver me and to help me and to, you know, give me understanding, and I believe that. Then when things shift, whether I realize it or not, as far as if that's the prayer that I prayed for is being answered, I try to reel back and be like, no, this isn't what I meant. And as much as we know how good God is, as much as we know how forgiving God is, we got to stop playing in God's face. We have to stop asking God for things, and if it doesn't look like what we asked for, we try to take it back. And again, I'm not talking to anyone who already know this, but like I say, I speak for people who are battling the same battle, people who want to be better, people who intend to be better, because not everybody is. You know, there's a lot of talk. There's like a lot of news. Y'all don't need to know the news. Y'all don't need to be aware of what's going on in the world. If there's the news, like there's different podcasts, there's CNN, ESPN, all the like ABC, NBC, all these things. So, and again, if y'all been here since the beginning, y'all know that I've from like since 2000 and, you know, 19 or 18, even probably before that on SoundCloud, when I was just, you know, doing my little rant. So I was having a little small conversation with some coworkers or what. This was back in maybe 2015, 2014, before podcasting. But it's like, we can say what we want. We have free will. We can do what we want to do. But I'm a little bit more conscious of my decisions. If you know, you know. It is what it is. Like I've had my battles and struggles with so many things, and it's like I'm still battling it. But even like in these battles, I don't lose my faith. Like I said, I will fall, I will stumble, but I do not lose my faith. And I think that's and I want to say that's the goal, because even like me and one of my dear friends, and I might have dropped about it on one of the previous episodes, is that, you know, we might have had I don't even want to say it was a fight, but we might have had a, a we had a disagreement or a miscommunication. I'm gonna say a miscommunication, and even though it wasn't serious to me, it was serious to her, and because it was serious to her, I felt it, and I realized, and I said, man, I really have it bad for just like caring, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Like that is my gift. I care so much. My passion is giving. I give so much. My understanding is I see myself and others. Like I have prayed about things and then done the complete opposite right after prayer. Like, not gonna get into any detail right now, but I have literally been like right there on the edge and asked God to pull me back. And right after I say amen, I'll go and still jump into the fire. And the thing is, I have conviction. It's like I've been battling this forever. Like I said, sometimes our enemies is within us. And I know it's a cliche, and it's another thing. Like my friend says it all the time, the enemy is the enemy, but it's like this is things that I've been hearing about it like for years, since I was a kid. The enemy is the enemy. The energy, because you cannot kill nor create it. It's like it's here. So if you're going through something, like when we go through things and you're delivered, cast it out or redeem it or rebuke it, it's able to you will let go of it. It will try to hold on and cling on to you, but it will go away and somebody else will absorb that energy. I believe that. So that's why even like for me, I know that we are battling demons. We are battling ourselves. We are in like self-destruct mode sometimes, because it's like, man, I'm troubled. How can I release this troubled spirit or troubled problem and ease it up a little bit? Instead of praying, we will make justifications to judge others, and it goes back again to like, I can't identify the scripture right now, but it's like we have to be wise, Zer, because when we say stuff, like I said, I don't like talking, and I will say I've been guilty of this. Like I have overshared and said more than I needed to say. Just get to the point. When people talk about, we can't, no small talk, I say, yeah, I don't like small talk. Just get to the point. But sometimes it's just like the way that my mind is wired, the way that my mind works is I have to go into deep detail onto how I got to the point. Like, I understand not everybody likes to read, because again, I don't always like to read, and that's the thing. It's like a double-edged sword. Like, I can dish it out, but can't take it. But let me just tell you this. Like I said, sometimes when I am reflecting, meditating on things that I'm about to say, because sometimes I just go on a tangent and go on a rant. Like I can be on Facebook, or I can, just be in my on my writing mode. Like, cause like I had started back journaling, and I have been a little bit more active on YouTube and things, but I've started back journaling, and it felt good. And sometimes I don't know what to say. It's just I'm just letting my mind flow from the pen to the pad, because it's like I have to. This that's how I oftentimes talk to God, because I am a creative at heart and I'm a writer, and that's really a lot of times I can release it on paper, write it down and make it plain. If I have a problem, I like to address the problem, even if I'm talking to myself. But sometimes I be so vocal and so open, like I share my personal thoughts and my feelings and my observations with the world, and I'll welcome anything that anybody has to say, even if nobody says it. It's just like with the podcast. It's like I don't get a lot of engagement, but if there is engagement and then I'm able to receive the messages, I will respond. And one thing about me is like I will try to respond as quickly as possible. And maybe that's the thing. Like I know for a fact that a lot of my shortcomings have come from where my heart is, where my mind's at. And even with the fact of just like how, like where I see myself in the future or see myself tomorrow, it's like I might be overqualified or underqualified, because like I said, the world do not care. My observation is the world do not care. The world don't care about what your problems are. The world don't care about your victories. So it's just like we're all just living. And for me, I have an issue with it, only because I know, I feel, I believe, I see it. It's like you gotta walk by faith, not by sight. But I see it, and it's like, man, we relate so much that I know that everybody has their own stuff going on. And even outside looking in, it's like, are you even trying to change? Are you trying to be better? Like, but it's like then it can be contradicting, because it's like I think about it and I say, Lord, help me, heal me, deliver me, like change this world. But I had to ask God to change my heart, because, like I say, I care so much about people that sometimes when they get so offended or so offensive, it's like I have to say something, or I have to like say, hey, look, I didn't mean it this way. Like I used to deal with like people pleasing things, but the thing about it is, I feel myself changing for better. So a lot of times, I might lose connection, and I'll just go off in the sunset, and be like, yeah, I'm gonna say this and that's that, and blah 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 blah. But my point is, forget the opinions. For a lot of us, seeing is believing, but it all depends on what you believe and what you see. And me, I see victory. I see positivity, prosperity, productivity, safety. That's what I want. That's why every time when I close out, I always say, be safe, stay productive and positive. because that's what I want for all of you. But I'm not God. I can't save you. I'm not perfect. I want to strive to be. But sometimes I have so much separation anxiety like a child because it's like, man, I care. I want us to do this together. But it's a process for everything. So I always ask for forgiveness because sometimes I speak so passionately that it's looked at as me judging or condemning. Like I don't condemn. I may judge. I don't want to misjudge, but I may judge. But that's all. And as always, y'all stay safe, prosperous, productive, and positive. This is Blair.